This is Goku's son, DBZ, and welcome back. This is a special best to worst list. I am ranking, in my opinion, the weakest to the strongest comic book or superhero movies of 2018. And in the next few days, I will be posting. I still have one movie left to watch before I decide how the ranks will end up for top 10 best movies of 2018. But with that said, I'm officially done with comic book films, so I can now give my overall ranking and opinion on it. Total, there were 8 comic book movies or superhero movies in 2018. With that said, in my opinion, weakest to strongest, and I'm sure everyone's opinions differ. So leave a comment, let me know what, in your opinion, the weakest and the strongest are. With that said, coming in at number 8 of the 8 films is a film that goes along with the newer adaptation or newer version of the show I didn't like in the first place. And this is the movie version of Teen Titans Go called Teen Titans Go the Movie. And easily the weakest of all the comic book movies. Yeah, I get it, a little kid's movie, but with that said, the original early 2000s Teen Titans show was superb. It was actually a very well written show, and it was a very mature, showing a lot of its themes and aspects, especially when it came to the actual story writing, like the Judas contract and other elements and eras in the show like that. And then Teen Titans Go came out, was really crappy, a shell of its former self. And the movie, same thing goes. I mean, it's great for little kids, but those of us who mirror the original, plus when it's competing against these other films this year, it's by far the weakest of all the 8 superhero films. And by the way, these are only theatrical released films that I'm putting on the list. Straight to DVD films do not count. With that said, number 7 is, I feel, the weakest of the MCU movies. Coming at number 7 is, and it's more specifically because of really the main villain of this film is one of the major things I feel weakens the film overall. But that's just my opinion. Coming in number 7 is Ant-Man and the Wasp. Coming in at number 6 is probably going to be somewhat controversial. Most people probably have this in their top 3. But this is my own personal list. I've watched the first one I mentioned one time, and that was enough. I've seen Ant-Man and the Wasp twice. I've seen this movie 2 times, so at least I can say I have a better well-rounded opinion of the film. I do feel the best part of the film is really the main antagonist being played by Michael B. Jordan, and now you know. Number 6 of the 8 films for me personally is Black Panther. I enjoy the film, don't get me wrong, I think it's good. I feel one of the main aspects that this film, even though the villain is superb in the movie, one thing that really took me out with this movie was the CGI. Some of the CGI looked good, but then when you look at fights and stuff like with the 2 versions of Black Panther on that Underground Railroad and stuff, the CG looked really bad, in my opinion, for a MCU movie. I expect the caliber of CGI to be a lot better and not at like Justice League level CG. I'm just saying, Ant-Man and the Wasp CG was better done than Black Panther. It kind of blows my mind, honestly, that Black Panther did as much money as it did at the box office this year. I will say the acting area is very well for the most part, but for me, Michael B. Jordan stole the entire movie from everyone else in the film. That's my favorite part of the film is him. Coming in at number 5, it's going to be controversial because it's above 3 other of these films. Yeah, I have it in 5th place, but I've seen this movie now 3 times, and I can honestly say I really thoroughly liked it. Maybe it's a guilty pleasure, I don't know, but Given this film became the 5th largest grossing film of the year, I'm actually happy with its box office success. Coming in at number 5 on the list is Venom. I liked Venom a lot more than I was expecting to, in all honesty. I'm actually quite surprised about this one. I did not expect to enjoy the film as much as I did. And yeah, I've seen this film now 3 times, probably gonna soon make it a 4th time. I actually have really enjoyed it, and what really did for me is the discussions back and forth between Eddie Brock and the symbiote, Venom. And I actually really liked that discussion back and forth between the two, and and I'm glad they were able to make it work without Spider Man being involved. And I like they tried to go with a little bit more of a darker, gritty tone with the film. I think that actually helped. I will say the villain was not the greatest. This character they created called Riot wasn't the greatest, but better than some of the MCU villains, to be fair. With that said, I am definitely key and curious about what's to come in the future for Venom 2. Especially the mid-credits scene really has me very curious for the future for Carnage. Coming in at number 4 is the newest addition to this list. I've only seen it one time. This might actually end up higher than what it is currently, but after just one time, it's already in 4th place, so not bad. Not bad, DCEU, not bad at all. Coming in at number 4 is Aquaman. And I'm just happy this film ended up so well done, so well executed. The CG looked great. I like the effects they used with the CG to make it look like they were really underwater. I enjoyed that. It's unfortunate there wasn't more. I'm not going to try to spoil much, but it's just too bad there wasn't more Black Manta in the film than we got, unfortunately. But I will say, this is a film, when it does get physically released on Blu-ray, you can betcha I'm going to be first in line to pick that up. I very much thoroughly enjoyed this film. And it's, as of right now, probably my second favorite DCEU film after just one watch. It might end up becoming my number 1 favorite. We'll see. But coming in at number 3 is a film now, for some reason, we got a PG-13 adaptation of. Of course, Once Upon... Yep, coming in at number 3 is Deadpool 2. Really fun, really enjoyable film. I've seen this movie 3 times at least that I know of. I've seen it, 3 times so far. Probably see a 4th eventually. And yeah, I very much enjoyed Deadpool 2. There's certain aspects I preferred about this film over the first Deadpool, but then there's other aspects I much prefer in the original Deadpool. Overall, I still think Deadpool 1 was a better film overall package, but Deadpool 2, I will admit, Josh Brolin did a great job as Cable, and of course also made one amazing Thanos. But with that, yep, so congrats to the Canadian Ryan Reynolds. Another superb Deadpool movie. Coming in at number 2. I've only seen one time so far. It's already my number 2 out of the 8 films this year, my number 2 favorite. So you probably guessed, number 2 from also Sony Pictures. So Sony got number 5 and number 2. Not bad, Sony. Number 2 goes to Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, which is a superb, well done, well executed movie, and I'm a little biased on how much I like this movie, specifically because of one particular character that ends up in the film. Most people, I will say, outside of the PS4 game and this movie, I really didn't know much about Miles Morales, though I do know him from some crossover stuff I've seen in some of the newer Amazing Spider-Man comics, plus some appearances he made in like the Spider-Man Deadpool comics and this, that, only a few times here and there. But I actually really enjoy getting to see more and learn more about the character of Miles Morales. But what really did it for me was the appearance and debut on the big screen for my maybe number two favorite Spider character, second to Peter Parker Spider-Man, and that is Gwen Stacy, Spider-Gwen, which I'm a big fan of the Spider-Gwen comics, which you've seen off and on for quite a long time. I've been collecting Spider-Gwen ever since it came out. Became a big fan. So this was a big deal to me, getting to see Spider-Gwen on screen, getting that recognition for the character. Also, it was just awesome to get to see the debut of Spider-Ham, aka Peter Porker, which is just so stupid and cheesy. Though I like that. I love cheesy. Coming in at number one, of course, easy, hands down. The number one best film, in my opinion, out of the 8 films. Avengers Infinity War comes in at number one, in my opinion, of the 8 comic book superhero films of 2018. Hands down, Avengers Infinity War is the best film of the year. I have now seen this movie 5 times, and I'll probably see it for a 6th time soon enough. But with that said, those are, in my opinion, the weakest to the strongest overall of the 8 superhero movies 2018. But like I said at the beginning, leave a comment, tell me how you would have the 8 films ranked for yourself personally. And stay tuned, in the next few days I'll be releasing my top 10 films of 2018. There's just one movie I have left to see in the next day or two, and that is Bumblebee. So we'll see how the ranks go once I've seen Bumblebee. But with that said, I'll see y'all next time. Same YouTube time, same YouTube channel.